It's that time of the month again when we get to talk about brand new VR games coming your way across September, and that means, like I just said, brand new VR games coming our way. But of course, before we dive into this video, please do consider smashing that like button and subscribing as we're on our road to 50 freaking K. Alright, let's kick this off with the first game, Starwave. Yet another rhythm game trying to be the next Beat Saber, but this one does seem to have just a little bit of a difference as you are now in space. I will say, I think we've had enough of these types of games currently, but I'll reserve judgment until we've actually played this myself. I currently haven't, so maybe I'll let you know in my roundup videos on Friday whether this one is going to stand out just so much that you need to buy it. Next up, we have Rampage Agents. This is looking like a sort of Overwatchy type game coming to multiplayer. Now again, I feel like we've had quite a few of these released over the time that VR's been around, but maybe this one's going to stand out. I will say this one looks probably one of the nicest versions of this game I've seen, but again, I want to reserve judgment until I've actually experienced it for myself. If this is your bag, then I think you're going to be excited, but yeah, let's just see, is it going to be any good and will it hold a player base, as the multiplayer issue is for most games. Next up, we have Chernobyl again. Now this one actually looks kind of interesting to me. Like, I didn't think this was going to be much until I saw the most recent trailer for this, where it sort of broke down what this game's going to be about, and the fact that you're actually a time traveler trying to go back to prevent this from happening, or maybe not, who knows. Maybe you'll go through this and it turns out you're the reason that Chernobyl happened in the beginning. But either way, this one just looks really interesting. It's going to be a puzzle solver, you're going to be going through a very cool place, Chernobyl, and you're going to be doing some really interesting stuff along the way with some cool gadgets. Now, like I say, this one actually kind of grabbed my attention way more than I was expecting it to. I'm actually now looking forward to experiencing this for myself, so yeah, I'm actually going to put this one on like the actual intrigue list, and maybe you should too. Next up is Mannequin, is making its way officially out now on the Quest and PSVR this month. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this game, it is a game of cat and mouse. You're going to be playing some hide and seeks as you play the agents that are hunting down the aliens, and the aliens are hunting down the humans. So you're going to be hunting each other down, but the gift that the aliens have is to turn people into mannequins. Not literal store-bought mannequins, but they can like freeze you, so you freeze in time, and then the agents have to work out whether those sort of frozen in time people are either aliens waiting to pounce and kill them, or they are just frozen agents, and yeah, that's the way it goes. Frenzy Extinction. Well, this one is basically another sort of wave zombie shooting, sort of monster shooting adventure, as you're going to get in with your mates and do some like pretty mental looking things, getting together some insane weapons and destroying, well, a bunch of monsters, from zombies, where it looks like, all the way to mummies. You're going to be kicking the living snot out of them. Now, I will say the graphical look to this game doesn't particularly appeal to me, but I know that this sort of style does lend itself to lots of other people's things. Now, on top of that, this could be one of those games that just like graphics just don't matter. You get in there and you have so much fun that it doesn't matter. So I'm going to hold my judgment until I've actually experienced this for myself. It does look like it could be an absolute blast. So yeah, I don't know. It's one of those games for me, I'm like conflicting the entire time. Looks like trash, but looks like it could be really fun. Which one's going to outweigh the other? Next up is a classic from VR, and that is Hotel R&R. I'm actually glad that this is making its way to the Quest. It is a little bit late in the pipeline for this game, to be honest, because it does fall into that very early sort of 2016 type of experience. But nonetheless, this is actually a really stupid fun game. You get into there and just break the living heck with some awesome physics, the room that you're staying in. So you become like a rock star, you're going to smash the living crap out of everything. You get to use some insane weapons. There is some fun backstory there as well, something to do with the devil. And yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff to this game. Honestly, it really is like falling into that category of tech demos that we used to sort of have within VR, but it does also really tick a lot of boxes for if you've had a bad day, go and jump into Hotel R&R and you'll have a laugh. Next up, Dance Dance Dance. We have another rhythm game, people. This is this is definitely shaping up to be one that's definitely not for me, but I know a lot of people like this style of game. So to be fair, I don't think that this looks like a bad example of the game. I just think that we've got so many of these rhythm games now that like really you're kind of spoiled for choice. Do you want to dance? Do you want to dance, 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 or do you want to dance, dance, dance? well, you let me know in the comments down below. Next up is a freaking banger, Into the Radius, making its way to the PSVR 2. Now this is an absolute freaking gem of a game, so if you own a PSVR 2, you've never experienced this and you've been waiting, well, this is about to pay off for you big time. Honestly, one of the best survival games that we have in virtual reality, full stop. And not only that, but it just goes up there as one of those absolutely amazing games, full stop. I've played a ridiculous amount of hours of this game. I've completed it a couple of times at this point, and I've covered it a ton on the channel, and I'm sure it will be again when it comes down to it's coming out on PSVR 2, because I just love playing this game. It's a freaking amazing experience that you get to go through something that is semi-creepy, semi-atmospheric, and semi-terrifying all at the same time, and it really just balances it all out through this sort of looter extraction type sort of situation, and it's just so satisfying. I love this game. It's a freaking top-notch one. Get it on your wish list if you're in a PSVR 2, and well, if you've never played on any other platform, it's out on almost every other platform, so go and check this game out. Next up is Metal Hellsinger. Now this one actually is pretty dope. I've played the demo for this when it came out on Steam. It was really fun. This is basically Doom, but rhythm based. Now I know I've been slaying on some freaking rhythm based games to go through this, but finally someone's actually made a bit of a difference to it, and this one stands out to me much more. So if you're into your metal, man, you're gonna love this game. Secondly, this has actually like got some really kick-ass stuff going on. You're gonna be just slaying demons left, right, and center to the rhythm of the freaking badass metal music that you're gonna be listening to, and honestly it just stands out from the rest because this is just a shining example of how you turn a tried and true type of game and make it into something actually unique and awesome. Next up is Escaping Wonderland. This honestly is a freaking treat. Now I'm not a massive platformer fan, but I did try this at Gamescom and it really won my heart. I loved this game when I played it. I'm very much looking forward to getting back into this and re-experiencing it some more, because honestly it's just a really fun, whimsical tale that not only is fun and whimsical, but it looks freaking gorgeous and really takes you sort of into the story as you play it. So if you like your platformers, definitely one for you. If you're on the fence like me, I would say give it a try. This is one to give a try on Quest because, well, you have that free refund if you really don't get on with it, and of course if you do, you're going to have an absolutely amazing time. Next up is Astro Hunters. Well, Astro Hunters has come out on, I believe, PSVR already recently, but now it's making its way to the Quest release. This is a PvPvE extraction shooter, except for you're in space, baby. So you're going to be fighting some real life people and of course some enemies that are in the game as well, whilst you're trying to extract and get the hell out of this situation. This is actually really fun. I've played a bunch of it. It's actually a pretty damn cool game. I'm glad it's coming to Quest. If you're looking for like an extraction shooter, you're kind of done maybe with Tarkov for a little bit, you know what I'm saying, then it's maybe this one might be for you. Next up we have Hitman 3 VR. Last but not least on the list, we have got this new Reloaded adventure, where apparently it's going to fix the issues that we've experienced when this was ported to PC VR and the experiences we had with this with PlayStation VR. Both pretty shocking experiences in my opinion. As a port goes into VR, it was probably the most flat version of the game that we've ever played, even over the actual flat version. But nonetheless, they're saying this is going to be like the actual magnum opus of Hitman in VR. So fingers crossed that that's correct. I'll be honest with you, I don't hold a lot of high hopes. I really would love this to be an absolute banger of a title, but I'll be able to share more on that in very near coming future. So keep your eyes peeled on the channel because I'll be able to talk about this experience in its fullness in a review coming up very soon. Other than that, guys, well, that is going to do it for this month's gaming. I feel like this is like the last little bit of quiet that we're going to have before the absolute madness that is like Batman, Metro, Behemoth, and all of those other huge ass titles that are going to be coming out at the back end of this year, as well as, well, hopefully new headsets. Who knows? But other than that, I'm very excited about the future of VR. This is just another one of those months where we've got a few sort of mid titles and, you know, to be fair, quite a few sort of fun and entertaining ones to go with it as well. Other than that, guys, if you enjoyed this, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out. Goodbye.